Welcome back, guys. I'm Cody, the Rad Retro Dad, and today we're going to be talking about the Intellivision.
Come on, let's all go to the Rad Retro Show. Master of the Retroverse, he's the Rad Retro Dad. He's the Rad Retro Dad.
All right, guys, we're going to talk about the Intellivision, and the Intellivision it came out as like an answer to the Atari 2600. It was like the competitor to it, and a lot of people called it the first console war. And I would say that Atari 2600 definitely came out ahead of the game with this because I just don't think that the Intellivision was as popular of a system as the 2600 was. But it did give it a run for its money. And it actually had better games than the Atari 2600. And I gotta say, I never had an Intellivision when I was a kid. It really wasn't something that was even on our radar. And actually, I didn't even know it existed when I was a kid. We had a Atari 2600, and that's just what we knew. That's what we thought that was the only thing that was out there. But the Intellivision was something more unique than the Atari 2600. And Atari, I gotta say, Atari is killing it. They are back in the game. I mean, I know that Atari, it fell off the map for a while, and then, another company bought them up, and it went through some transitions. And I think that whoever is running Atari right now, they know what they're doing, and they're bringing some things that fans want. So let's talk about this Intellivision a little bit. So the reason that they did this is that it's the 45th anniversary of the Intellivision. And for the 45th anniversary of the Intellivision, they're also going to put 45 built-in games. And along with those 45 built-in games, they have all the overlays printed for the controller. So if you've never played the Intellivision, it didn't really have like a traditional game controller. It had like a spinner knob, and then it had a keypad. It was like a TV remote control, which may be why they called it the Intellivision. I don't know for sure. You could take these overlays and you slide them into a slot over the keypad, and then it will give you instructions. It'll show you what buttons to push and how the controls work for each game, which is a really kind of a cool idea. And I think it's pretty awesome that they include these overlays for all 45 of the games that they put in this system. And so let's take a look at the pictures here. So here is the Intellivision, and for what I understand, it's not a 100% scale. It's like 90%. So it's somewhere in between like a mini console and a full-size console. I did watch a video. They had one on display at some game convention, and you can go on YouTube and you can find some videos on it. But when the guy's holding the controller in his hand, it didn't look like they had downsized the controller. Mainly, it looks like they just downsized the console a bit. So if you're concerned about the remotes being small, they fit in the palm of your hand pretty good, it looks like. All right. And then here it is. This is just a close-up shot of the controllers slid into the little compartments on the console. And that's how you charge the controllers. And then, of course, you got the different overlays for the games. And this demonstrates how they slide in. Another shot of the system. And you got your power buttons and different things. Oh, come on. Side view. 2 remotes. And then a little preview of the games. So the Intellivision, it brought more sports and strategy type games. It wasn't really an arcade-y type system. I mean, it did have some arcade style games on there, but they were, I don't know. The games on this system were a little bit more technical than the ones on the 2600, which I think is kind of cool because in a way, I believe the Intellivision kind of progressed gaming a little bit more than the Atari 2600. If you lived through the Atari 2600 era, they would just kind of like make games just to get them out there sometimes. And if there was a movie, they would make a game for it. And I'm telling you, they would like program this thing in like a week or a month, and then it was on the shelf, you know? And so the 2600 has a lot of like really crappy games. It still holds like a place in my heart because it was my very first video game console. But some of those games are really good, and some of them were just like thrown together just to get some games out there. And that happened a lot on the 2600. The Intellivision, like I said, I didn't play it when it first came out. It was years later when I was exposed to the Intellivision. But in my opinion, it has way better games than the 2600 does. All right. So some of the features we talked about, 45 built-in games. Some of the games include Boulder Dash, Shark, Basketball, and more. Easily connects to the modern TV via HDMI. 2 wireless controllers with overlays. And right here, overlays for every game that's included on the system. And you get 2 overlays, 1 for each controller. And then it doesn't have a micro SD card slot, but you can put games on a USB stick or like a jump drive and just put it in there and you can add games to it. Now you won't have the overlays, but I mean a little bit of a Google search and a printer to print off an overlay. I mean, just slide in the controller if you want. That would be super simple. And if you want to take it even another step, print them off and then just take them to your local print shop or whatever and have them laminate them and then cut them out. That's pretty much all you'd have to do. Pre-orders for this thing go live in December 2025. And the package includes the Intellivision Sprint console, 2 wireless controllers, 48 double-sided overlays, 45 built-in games, USB power adapter, and an HDMI cable. Now it says 48 double-sided overlays. I don't know exactly what that means because there's only 45 games. So I don't know if there's like an overlay for like the new user interface that they're putting on this console to navigate the menus and stuff. I don't know. Or if some games require more than 1 overlay. Honestly, I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments. There's very little that we know really about this console. So, anyways, and then here's a quick games list. And I won't read them all off, but it does list all 45 of the games that are going to be on there. And you can go to Atari.com and you can look at that list for yourself. Maybe what I'll do is I'll copy it and put it in the description. Then you don't have to waste your time. So I just want to do a quick video for you guys and bring this to your attention. I think this is pretty cool. And like I said, I mean, I think 2025 has been one of the biggest years for retro gaming enthusiasts. There's just been a lot of really cool consoles that are being released. And I know not all of them are out yet, but to have them all these consoles announced in 2025, I think this is insane. This is super cool. And like I've said in other videos, I'm a fan of preserving video games so that they can be played in the future. And these little consoles, you know, whatever you think of them, they do one thing really well, is that they bring the ability to play these games to a modern television super easy. And I know you can go on the internet and you can download emulators and ROMs and all that, and you can experience these games. But the thing that these systems give you that an emulator doesn't is that you get to kind of experience it with a version of the original controllers that came with these games. And I think that's super cool. A lot of the nostalgia of these systems is the controller that it came with, especially the Intellivision, because it's unique. I don't think there's another video game console out there that had like a TV remote style controller, other than maybe the Nintendo Wii, but that was more of a, they built that more for motion. But even the Wii, like that's why you go back to it, is because the way that the games control. And using the Wii remote, it's just different than like using your mouse on the computer, for example. So anyways, I just wanted to do a quick video here, bring this to your guys' attention. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you're looking forward to? Is this something that you're gonna buy? I'll leave a link in the description to this pre-order page if you're interested, and you can go check it out. So until next time, remember, stay rad and stay retro.